The situation of the armed forces of Ukraine continues to deteriorate rapidly in all directions of the front. On September 4, experts and analysts from Europe's largest open-source intelligence project BlackBird Group officially announced that since the beginning of August this year, the speed of the Russian army's advance in Donbass has doubled. Moreover, according to them, Russian troops take control of about 20 square kilometers of territory in Donbass almost every day. At the same time, experts and analysts from the BlackBird Group admitted that since the invasion of the Ukrainian Army in the Kursk Oblast, Russian troops have managed to liberate more than 20 settlements in this Russian region. Finnish analysts from the BlackBird Group stated that the Russian army is in full control of the situation in the Kursk region, while continuing to advance in the Donbass rapidly. According to them, as of September 6, 2024, Russian troops are only 6 kilometers from the main city of Donbass, Pokrovsk. It is reported that over the past 30 days, the Russian army has managed to take control of 232 square kilometers of territory in the Donbass. In Chasiv Yar direction of the front, 22 square kilometers of territory came under the control of Russian troops. In Volodar direction of the front, the Russian army liberated 43 square kilometers of territory, taking full control of such settlements as Prechistovka and Konstantinovka. In the Kupiansk direction of the front, the Russian army took control of 34 square kilometers of territory, liberating the strategically important settlement of Stelmakovka. Thus, over the past 30 days, the total number of liberated territories by Russian troops amounted to 356 square kilometers. This became the biggest advance of the Russian army in the last 2 years. In total, over the past 6 months, the Russian army has managed to liberate 1,256 square kilometers of territory. Finnish experts from the BlackBird Group also urged the Western audience not to be deceived by the so-called successes of the Ukrainian army in the Kursk region. According to them, as of September 6, 2024, the Ukrainian army controls about 812 square kilometers of territory in the Kursk region. However, from a military point of view, this territory is not of significant value, since it is a rural area with vast empty fields and dozens of small border villages. Now it becomes clear why the Ukrainian army, despite the heavy losses in manpower and equipment, so desperately tried to reach cities such as Kursk and Rilsk. However, unfortunately for the Ukrainian High Military Command and its NATO military advisors, Russian troops managed to completely stop the advance of the Ukrainian army in the Kursk region. By the way, 2 hours ago, the Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation officially announced that as of September 6, 2024, the Ukrainian army lost 10,100 soldiers and about 700 units of heavy equipment in the Kursk region. Thus, the armed forces of Ukraine, having lost more than 10,000 soldiers and about 700 pieces of equipment, not only failed to approach the outskirts of cities such as Kursk and Rilsk, but even captured the small village of Koronivo. Let me remind you that the capture of this village would allow the Ukrainian army to reach the main highway R199, which leads to the main cities of the Kursk region, Rilsk and Kursk. By the way, a few minutes ago, the commander of Spetsnaz Akhmat, General Apty Yalatinov, said that due to heavy losses in manpower and equipment, the Ukrainian army continues to pull new reserves into the border area of the Kursk region. According to him, over the past few days, the Kursk region witnessed a relative lull, because Russian troops managed to destroy almost all offensive units of the Ukrainian army. General Apty Yalatinov noted that now the Ukrainian High Military Command is transferring new reserves to the Kursk region purely for the sake of holding the captured positions. Thus, the commander of Spetsnaz Akhmat officially confirmed that the Ukrainian army has completely switched on the defensive in the Kursk region. According to war correspondents, the Ukrainian High Military Command, by transferring reserves to the Kursk region, continues to weaken the positions of the Ukrainian army in other directions of the front. In addition, the irrational actions of the Ukrainian General Staff also led to the fact that Russia tripled missile and bomb attacks on the Sumy Oblast, as a result of which the population of almost all border settlements in this region was evacuated. This also led to the fact that the Ukrainian army lost almost all of its HIMARS missile systems and M270 multiple launch rocket systems, which were used for strikes on the Kursk region. By the way, today, the Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation showed footage of the destruction of another US multiple launch rocket system M270. It is reported that this missile system was destroyed near the village of Rudnevka, in the Sumy region. Meanwhile, war correspondents reported on a fierce battle that took place on September 4, near the village of Kremianoy, as a result of which the Russian Marines of the 810th Brigade of the Russian Black Sea Fleet managed to destroy a fairly large enemy armed group. As it turned out, Russian Marines ambushed and destroyed 30 fighters of the 115th Separate Mechanized Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, southeast of the village of Kremianoy. However, the most interesting thing is that during the examinations of the corpses, among the destroyed Ukrainian soldiers, Russian Marines also found the corpses of 8 Spanish citizens. Earlier, sources in the Russian military department admitted that Russian troops regularly capture Spanish citizens in the Kursk region. For example, on August 31, 2024, fighters of the Russian group of troops under the designation center captured several foreign mercenaries, who also turned out to be Spanish citizens. At the same time, sources in the Russian military department noted that against the backdrop of catastrophic losses of the Ukrainian army and manpower, the NATO leadership continues to send its soldiers and officers to Ukraine. It is reported that NATO soldiers and officers pose themselves as ordinary mercenaries and military instructors, continuing to fight on the side of the Ukrainian army.